I will jinx myself in the best of ways. I made a video, I think it was last Wednesday, talking about how finding a job is really hard and I fucking hate this. And I don't feel like I'm valued and I hate the relationship of power. The feeling of a relationship where I have to be like, hey, kind sir, I'm possibly the worst worker you're gonna have. But please give me a chance. Please help me feed my family. I'm not asking for charity, dude. I'm working for you. You're gonna profit off my work. I still have to beg for you. You know? I had a problem with that. And it feels like the same thing with taking a step back from making content. It feels like a feels bad because it doesn't feel like it's something that I want to do. Feels like, again, it feels like something that I need to do. And I'm not complaining. I'm very lucky to have this. For the last year, we did what I wanted to do. The amount of things that I did that I needed to do versus the amount of things that I did because I wanted to do it, crazy, crazy. Me and this guy were talking almost every day. He's a really good dude, and I could consider him a good friend. But yesterday he was like, "Yo, can you please promote me?" And I had so many fucking people be nice to me just to tell me, "Hey, can you promote me?" And that fucking sucks because you don't know how it is. It's like this rich guy, right? It's so nuts because I don't feel famous. It's like this rich guy who doesn't know what friend he has because maybe they're all there for the money. And I'm like this crazy guy that has friends because he's popular, but he's not that popular. So maybe himself doesn't see that self popular, right? I had this also this girl, right? I had this girl who was very flirtatious with me, very flirtatious. But it was only flirtatious during the stream. When I DM her in the background, no answer. Then you realize that this particular person, was only there to look like the biggest fucking queen in the ball, because the popular guy is paying attention to her. Right? I was talking about the two assholes on TikTok battling. One of them yesterday says, "Hey, I'm starting the battle when I get somebody send me a pair of tits." I wish I was joking. I wish I was joking. And he got his pair of tits. He's got his pair of tits. What a horrible thing to do, but he still did it. He got away with it. You know? There's a lot of things that I don't like on social media. There's a lot of things that I don't like. And I wanted to keep what I'm doing. See, I laughed about it a lot. It was a meme, but Bob Ross had it all figured out. Bob Ross was this crazy talented painter, this crazy popular painter. But Ross never made millions. Bob Ross never became the next sensation in painting worldwide. He was loved, but not beloved. Understand? Yeah? Had it all figured out. See, I'm gonna go back to the Outdoors Boys. They're just phenomenal. The Outdoors Boys, that's a crazy story. The Outdoors Boy did a first channel called the Catfish something, and they never got famous. The Outdoors Boy has been making content for the last 4 years, and Joe Rogan watched one of their episodes. They talk about it, and then Charlie, which is Penguin's CEO, made fun of Joe Rogan because he doesn't like Joe Rogan. So he watched it all. He watched an episode to make fun of Joe Rogan. He's like, no, this channel is amazing. And then this channel, he was posting videos and getting millions of views. Really popular, one of the most popular video channel. And he always left his comment off. So what does that matter? So YouTube will see that your comments will see comments as engagement. So even though with no engagement, he was still getting so many views. He was able to step it up. He was able to step off. I'm seeing the OG family, which is a cool family, and they're super popular. They're putting their kids first, which is amazing. I'm seeing this PewDiePie, and PewDiePie to me always felt like such a fucking asshole, because PewDiePie was one of the reasons why a lot of advertiser left YouTube advertisements, and PewDiePie felt really, and I mean this sincerely, it felt like a dude that made money when money was to be made, and he said, "Fuck you! I'm burning the bridge. I'm burning the ship. Nobody's gonna be making as much money as I did." And then when you look at what really happened is he found this wife, and they traveled and they had fun and they had a life outside of social media, and then they had their son Bjorn. And now the guy posts one video every 3 weeks, 4 months, a month, and people are like, "Yo, congratulations, PewDiePie," you know. But it's also all of these legends that are taking a step back. Markiplier, Jacksepticeye. See, those 4 years were the most constructive years of my life, and hopefully I'm doing this for another 10 years, 20 years, and it's continuing to bring me as much. If the next 4 years bring me half what the first 4 years brought me, I'll be a happy man. I'll be so fucking happy. I'll be like, wow, I'm lucky. But I have to admit that those last 5 years, looking back at it, felt like a fever dream. It felt like it wasn't real. It felt like, holy shit, I did all of that. Sometimes I'm watching a video and I'm like, holy shit, I remember saying that. But filming it, I don't remember. I don't remember. Sometimes I'm gonna see myself and I'm so tired, I'm like, wow. I'm gonna see myself in a video, I'm gonna be so tired, I'm gonna be like, wow, you really worked hard that day. I miss that. I miss that. As much as I like putting myself through fire, the fire of overworking, the fire of self-destruction in the sense of I'm working way too much, I miss it. Dearly. I told you guys that oh, it's great. I told you guys that I had a party at my uncle last week. I didn't tell you something. So I was on my phone, I was playing Final Fantasy. Because again, it's a game that I can focus on the conversation, which usually I'm not. Usually I'm posting, usually I'm working, right? And I'm focusing on the game. And the simple thing that I have to do, I'm still listening. I'm pressing a button here and there. Then my aunt, mind you, that I haven't seen in 2 years. She says you're wasting your life on the phone. And I'm like, first of all, and there's part of me, there's a timing of me, there's passing that would get so mad, say you don't know shit. But then, to me, knowing what I was doing was enough. Knowing that I was working, having fun with working, knowing that I'm still less invested than I was. There's time where I would have went to a party, I would just go into a room and just film and make content. I'm actually with you guys. I'm actually with you guys. She's like, oh, you're on your phone. What are you doing with your life? I'm like, please tell me what to do right now. Tell me what to do. Tell me what to do on a Sunday night at 8:32 p.m. Please tell me what to do. Tell me how can I spend my time at this Sunday, right? And I did, because I know. But as much as maturity hits, and maturity says she doesn't know the situation, you don't need to get mad at her. Like, you're gonna see her one time, and then you're gonna see her in a year. I was proud of myself for not reacting, but I also miss the guy who was reacting. I also miss the guy who said, you know what, you don't know shit. I wish I had this passion. We often compare fire and passion. Fire is destructive, right? I don't want to be destructive force. Look at people that reach out, like new community, right? And when they're talking to me and say, hey, how are you? Do we miss you? To me, it's such a weird feeling because it's 100 times more fulfilling than making content. I tell you something. When I was doing live on TikTok, I was like, I should have done that before. And then, believe me, that I don't care. I remember all the nights I spent talking to the camera. I'm not talking to anybody else. I remember going to see the sunrise in the morning. And I said I should have done live. To share this moment with someone. You know? A part of me that's taking a step back, there's a big part of it that is you didn't do the proper things. There's steps I could have done to become way more famous. There's steps I could have done to make this a real quote unquote job. There's steps I could have done to better my financial situation. Right? Stressful. There's a lot of stress that I'm feeling, a lot of pressure that I'm feeling is from a financial situation. Right now I have a debt. Right now I'm paying the rent. But as I'm paying the rent, I'm digging into my savings. And my savings, I got one more month, right? So in case you didn't know, today is the 22nd May. I have enough cash for June, but July, I'm fucked, right? Now, technically speaking, if I start my job on Monday, this will never, ever be a problem. The problem is if I don't, you know ce que fuck. You know ce que fuck. I don't know what to do. That's a lot of stress. You think that when I was receiving, you wanna have too much information? Huh? You wanna have too much information? You think that when I was receiving $880 every 2 weeks, I was stressed about my taxes, I was stressed about something? No. I can live very comfortably for $950 per month. I was making $1,760. Yeah. Then October, it stopped in October. And here we are in May. I still have some leftover money. The thing that haunts me the most is the second I think about stopping, I'm saying if you stop, you just wasted 4 years of your life. Right? If you stop. Right? Ooh, thank you. Judy Stoner. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But she said thank you, so you're welcome. The second I think about stopping content, it's like you're gonna be wasting 4 years of your life. But then followed shortly after is you have a choice between wasting 4 years or wasting your whole life. You see, it's crazy. I'm gonna give you guys a crazy statement. You don't mind? Lately, I've been asking myself, what is the pursuit of happiness? What is the road to happiness? Right? And I realized that I don't know what happiness is. I know what sadness is. The thing with sadness is, if you knew how to avoid it, you would. You're not supposed to know how to avoid sadness. Right? And I think that happiness is a highway. Right? And sadness is on both its sides. Right? And they're all leading you from point A to B, from life to death. Right? You're in this car, right? You're driving forward, and you're playing this song, Car Radio for 21 Pilots. If you don't know the song, please check it out. It's amazing. And you're on this highway, right? And you don't know if you're in the good lane or the bad lane. The lane is gonna make me happy, or the lane is gonna make me sad. You don't know what it is. Tell me something. Tell me the truth. Now, if you lie, if I ask you this question and your answer is a lie, you lie to yourself, right? I don't care what your answer is. But tell me something. If you don't know what lane are you on, are you pressing stop or are you continuing? I am fucking continuing. I'm not stopping the car. I'm not stopping the car until I have no gas and I have 2 flat tires. I just don't give a shit. Yeah. That was nasty. That was nasty as fuck. FBI, take it easy, please. Oh, I need to do Trailer Park Boys. Oh, this is disgusting. I have to go puke in the mouth. It's so cold outside. And I have to press this button till I die. Until the day I die, I plan myself for you. Calling you a verse, release a new song, by the way. Until the day I die. Welcome to the Commentary Show. Because we're doing well on this 22 May 2025. We're going to be reacting or doing a recap. Just talking about season 5 of Trailer Park. You're supposed to know the answer, boys. We're celebrating the possibility of a Trailer Park Girls. Why are we celebrating today? Well, we're doing season 5, which honestly one of my favorite season. But also a very special thing. I did a bit of grocery today, as the French would say. And I bought, can I get a drum roll please? Halifax inspired Donair. Fucking Donair. Now, why is Donair important? I wouldn't give a shit about Donair if it wasn't Trailer Park Boys. So I think I'm gonna do. It didn't come from me. I think I'm gonna. Such a cringe guy. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check out if I'm still recording. We're still recording. Oh yeah. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be watching till season 7. We'll take a little break, watch the 2 specials, and then, my dearly friend, we are gonna be eating some Donair. You're down with that? Are you down with that, dude? So Netflix, we're watching Trailer Park Boys if it allows us to see. It is season 5, so technically speaking, we started when? We started it's Friday. It is disgusting, by the way. Shall we, Rockstar? I do not fuck with this one. Until the day I die. What? Okay, fuck, we skip an episode. Showcase original. Yeah, so season 5, episode 1 is Give Freedom, Give Peace a Chance. So, if you guys remember last season, of Trailer Park Boys, we had a whole field of weed and a panther or a tiger. Have you ever wondered if Steve French was a tiger or a panther? I just did, and I'm pretty sure tiger. Never mind. We had a field of weed, so we sold the weed. We're supposed to be rich. The guys are leaving jail, and it's so fucking funny. To me, this is the prime Bubbles. I gotta say, Bubbles carried the show. You see, my apologies. Ricky is a bit. How do you say? Ricky. And Julian is a bit too much. Julian. Season 5, you introduce Ray in the big fashion, which is I didn't like Ray. As a kid, I was a fucking fool. Cause Ray is the shizzle, know what I'm saying? See, there's this classic thing of watching Trailer Park Boys one day, watching Trailer Park Boy 1 week, watching Trailer Park Boy 1 month, and we're at a month now. Know what I'm saying? So give Peace a Chance. It's actually a really cool episode. What I love is the Trailer Park Boys ahead and ahead. Once again, we don't have a time zone, but we're seeing Trinity growed up. So I'm like, okay, well, a couple of years, right? So now they leave jail. Right away, you got some bangers. You got some fucking funny epic moments. For example, Ricky complaining about the look away from smoking. Not allowed to smoke in jail anymore. Go figure why. And then Bubbles, which is my favorite Bubbles ever right now, he's like, oh, Ricky has been losing his mind with the new no cigarette policy. So he's right away talking about, like, very politely. He's talking about he's hugging prison officers. So you see, kind of like a trailer park, right? So what ended up happening is they're looking for a party. They think they have all of the money. So then what happened is they go see Terry and Dennis. Terry and Dennis is a nice addition because gave me treat. You see, Terry and Dennis is actually a really, really good addition because Trailer Park Boys is Ricky, Bubble, and Julie. The antagonist is Leahy and Randy. You also have Cyrus, so it's two guys. Notice Cyrus is never with Leahy and Ricky and Randy. And the problem with Trailer Park Boys is Leahy is the perfect villain. They're both protagonists and antagonists from the same place in Trailer Park. Cyrus is an outsider, so it is a purpose to a mean. Nothing unites like a common enemy, and nothing unites like a common enemy. Frankie Grande, Celebrity Big Brother, 2016. We'll cultivate bitch. We go in and they meet us, and then it's such a play on. I'm not a smoker. I don't do drugs. I know it's hard to believe, but I don't do drugs. And apparently there's just common cliche that your dealer wants to be your friend, and he's not cool. So we have Terry and Dennis. Terry and Dennis, and it's so fucking cool because they go in and the boys are complaining about. Oh, it's so good. It is so fucking good. They're complaining about them having their package out, and they have their package out, and it's so fucking awkward. However, there is something that's really important here. We see Terry that is super chill, and Dennis that is not chill, and that's something that they say. And the coolest thing is, you see, Ricky was friendly with Terry because Terry called Ricky Ichiban, which, if you didn't know, Ichiban is the best in Japanese. And it's kind of cool that Terry really had Ricky's back. We saw that season 4, the finale, Ricky had a lot of connections. People like Ricky, which I don't know why, because Ricky's kind of an asshole, but it's good to see. It's really good to see. Also, what I want to add is my favorite moments of the episode is when they're in the limousine because they're big time, and they come back. You got Ricky and Bubble pissing, and Julian making a commentary or having a confessional. Then you got Ricky making a confessional with Bubbles and Julian pissing. It's just fucking funny. And then you have the limousine driver. My apologies. We have the limousine driver that is the limousine driver that is pissing. Now, the season 5 episode 1 has this really specific and important moment where we see Leahy, a very calm Leahy, and it's like, I know the boys are coming out every single day, and I'm worried. So then, what happened is, every season technically is your last season. So when season 1 shoots, the last season is season 1. When it's season 2 shoots, last season is season 2. When season 4 shot, the ending was Leahy and Ricky going to a gun, so that's really, really bad. So Give Peace a Chance is they basically come back, and then Leahy called the cops because they're gunfire, because technically speaking, Cyrus is there. So they're talking about this new fucking, not allies, partner, and then it's Cyrus. So then there's a fight, and then they're fighting, and then to protect himself, Julian take the car and steal the gun. So they go back to the park to check that, and so then Leahy called the cop and he blamed them. And then Leahy's like, "Yo, this is a peace offering. I'm off the liquor." And the funniest thing is, Ricky, the first thing he does is shake his hand. And Leahy and Ricky are probably the most athletic characters. Bubble respect Leahy, and Leahy and Julian are both alcoholic. I feel like Julian is the Frodo to the Gollum that is Leahy. That makes sense? Cool, that makes sense, cool. Okay, cool. So yeah, we give peace a chance. There is this feeling that they can cohabit together. And Julian's like, no, he's really drinking, which is true. Leahy is drinking. However, Leahy and Ricky could have cohabited. So this is a part of the movie Don't Legalize It, which is super important. So Don't Legalize It, once again, the boys are in jail, surprise, and then they come in. And then the first thing that happens is Leahy and Ren fights. So Leahy gets drunk, and then Leahy goes back to the trailer park to see the boys. And then Ricky says, ask one thing. He asked one thing. He said, who do we have? Leahy, the friendly guy looking for someone to drink with, or Drunky the fuck clown? Saying, are you good drunk or are you bad drunk? And Leahy says, you never know, the circus is in town. So there is a belief, and what they did, which is a bit of a spoiler, but season 10, they're saying that Ray was in the Ricky's father. Because, so the lore would be that Ricky's mom was a whore. She liked to sleep around. And then they think that Leahy could have been the dad. And there's a whole scene of that. And Leahy is a really good protagonist because he helps Ricky out. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for season 5. However, it is a great intro. You see Trinity. Now, technically speaking, this is the first time where there's carry on from the season 4. So remember another season before. So that they have money. So for example, J-Rock bought a lot of CDs and turntables, shit like that. Corey sold the park. Now, the truth is, it's such a sad story because they went different ways. So the first way was Trevor and Corey spend the money and say, fuck those guys, they treat me like shit, right? Then the way they went is they said that, oh, Barbara fucked us over. So what is the truth? I don't know. The one is they don't specify it, but the Trevor boys sometimes have continuity mistakes. It happens. It's okay. Season 2, episode 5, season 5, episode 2. I don't remember this one. Because we watched it yesterday too. I'm telling you something, watching the episode at the end, it's so stupid. So then, Ricky's like, yo, where's my money? So they end up living at, so this is why the show is so good. See, they cohabit in the same trailer park because they don't cohabit together. So, it's fucking complex. So, in season 4, Barbara had a personal finance problem. She bankrupts. And she moves in a trailer. Supervise the trailer. And then Leahy becomes homeless. So Leahy ends up buying the trailer of Julian. And Julian ends up not having a trailer and ends up living at Ray's. There's also an evolution. Ray's finally finished paying off his whatchamacallit. Finally finished paying this mortgage. There you go. When he's paying up his mortgage, he has more cash, and he starts having gambling problem. See, another cool thing with Ray. Ray is really religious. It's hinted at Double Pimp in season 2, episode number 5, but it's only confirmed in the Christmas movie, like The Way She Goes. So the way she goes is fate. If I was meant to lose this money, I was meant to lose this money, which is one of my favorite sayings from The Way She Goes, Bubs. So then they go out, and when Ricky learns that Corey and Trevor fucked them over, he wants to kill them. So then we realize that Corey and Trevor have this peace bond, which is 50 yards. So if Ricky gets closer than 50 yards, he can get in jail. However, most of the time, Corey and Trevor try to get close to Ricky, so the peace bond is bullshit. But the coolest thing is, by that, you still want Corey and Trevor to be useful because again, it's all about making the characters of Trailer Park Boys useful versus having so many of them. So then Corey and Trevor start working with Julian. Not the coolest thing because season 5 is when shit hits the fan. So you want some inner conflict, right? We established before that Ricky was a fuck up. We established before that Julian, although had good ideas, didn't know how to execute them. So you gotta need a change of pace, and you have Julian training Trevor and Corey for the job, and Ricky kind of doing some self work. So, for example, he's having a job as a janitor. For example, he is interested in studying. For example, he wants to be a good father. Everybody had money from the park. Lucy had new tits. It's so fucking funny. So Lucy had new tits, and then Ricky's like he asked the first one to talk about it is Bubbles, and Bubbles says, "I'm a fucking nerd when it comes to that. I'm a fucking nerd." And Bubbles says, "Oh, she has new boobs, and a third of them is mine." So then Ricky's like, "Yo, if you notice something about Lucy, I am falling in love again with her." And Bubbles like, "No, I didn't notice anything because it doesn't want to admit that she had new boobs, right? But she had new boobs." Now the cool thing with this is Lucy the coutier did have a boob job. Now, what is the really cool thing about this is there's not a timeline for the Trailer Park Boys movie. However, the only thing that changes in that movie is that Lucy gets a boob job. So it could be the confirmation that Lucy had a boob job season 5. That means the movie take part after the season 5 or in between the season 5. So it's really cool. Then Lucy and Ricky goes back together. But then maturing is realizing that Sarah is right. Ricky is chaos, and Ricky always brings chaos. And Sarah, she wants the best for Lucy, and Sarah is a weird character. I love Sarah, but it's always like, hey, why don't you start moving on yourself, by yourself, right? Why you gotta be with Lucy and Trin? And then they're best friends, so you understand that they're kind of roomy. So it's not specified. But Sarah also is working, which is the weird thing. She has jobs, she's a hairdresser, she probably has money, so why should live with Lucy, right? It's never properly explained. So then Sarah's like, we were doing good before you came in, Ricky. And Ricky, technically speaking, has a good place here. Technically speaking, Ricky is the rightful... he's rightful, right? Rightful heir of this space. So he's married to Lucy and the father of Trinity. Trinity is grown up now, she's a teenager. But Sarah, she gave her a place because she partaked in a lot of bills, she take care of Trinity, she's like a good aunt, she's a really good mom. So then Lucy and Ricky come back together. And to be honest, watching this Trailer Park Boy again, I forget how little time Lucy had on screen, how little she brought to the script, to the story. But now she brings a lot because she's getting back with Ricky, which is fucking phenomenal. Wins the puppeteer of shit is Julie needs some money because he doesn't have a trailer. The first thing he wants to do, he wants to buy a trailer. So in the first episode, we see that Terry and Dennis had a lot of ash, right? They had a lot of ashish. That's why they went to the boys. They went to do a party, so they're like, okay, well, let's go to Terry and Dennis. They have hash. They'll let it to me. Which is why they're going there. And Terry and Dennis, there's a whole drama thing. But it's not kind of interesting. It's cool, but it's not something. Wow. So then Julian doesn't like Terry and Dennis, so he comes to fuck them over. And he kind of uses the excuse of it's Cyrus' money, so let's fuck over Cyrus, right? So they steal their ash. Now the best thing about it is Ricky thinking about the same thing, and Bubbles goes to stop Ricky, but they ended up stopping Julian. They come back to the park, and then off again as a peace offering, he's shooting up. The boys are shooting up. Then Leahy calls the cops and arrests Cyrus, Terry, and Dennis. Now the greatest thing here is also Ray. Ray takes a big part. It's like, yo, that's not my trailer. Yo, he stole money from Julian because he has this gambling issue. See, Ray. This is such a cool story. Ray doesn't have this much of an importance in the story, but since they're living on the same roof, they'll have some importance. And Ray is also the result of how Ricky acts. And for the first time, it's all about separation. So Ray is more important to Ricky than the boys, than Bubble and Julian, right? Because Bubble and Julian, they don't have families. So for them, Ricky is important, but Ricky does have a family. Ricky's the only one to have a dad. Ricky's the only one to have a wife. Ricky is the only one to have a daughter. He's a family man, right? So the puppeteer shit is implied that Leahy started to drink. There are super funny moments with fucking Randy being shown bottles and I'm freaking telling. And Trinity's like, how do you like me now, Hamburglar? And I fucking love that because it's a cheese eating walrus. I said it once, I said it twice, I said 1,000 fucking time. That's super cool. Next on this we have what? We have so then Randy's like, why didn't you call the cops on the boys? He said, those are my shit puppeteer. The more shit they do, the more time they're gonna get in jail. So the problem with Ricky and Julian for Leahy is whenever they go to jail for a couple of months. It's never enough. They don't have time to reform, and he doesn't have time to take big peace. He's like, give me a year without the boys, I'll be doing good. You don't have at least I'm gonna charge a phone anyways. Looking for she got my brick wall behind her door. She never know what she means to me. But I'm afraid she'd shoot the messenger, killing time before she trusts herself. She needs support.